we're going to be talking about Sunflower by Post Malone. This is for violin 2. Before we play the whole thing together at quarter note equals 160, we're going to be talking about two things. Number one is staccato, which is those little dots underneath the notes that you see, and the other one are the commas, and we'll get into that later, a little bit later on. But first, let's look at the staccato at measure 9. That's the first time you'll see it, and also the first time you come in this piece. But you have 4 quarter notes. 2 are without dots underneath them or staccato markings, and the beats 3 and 4, those 2 notes, you do have them. So staccato basically just means you're going to stop the bow before and after the note. So this is what that looks like in slow motion. So basically, you have 4 quarter notes, but they sound differently because there is a dot underneath it, so you want to stop your bow before and after you play it. Now, the other tricky thing in this piece is definitely around 42. If you take a look at your music, every 2 bars or so, you'll have these little air commas that are above the measure and before the next bar. Right? So when you play those 2 measures, you obviously want to play them smooth together, legato, right? Full bow, everything. But when you see that comma, you're going to lift your bow and basically retake and go back to the frog. So set your bow before you play, right? So it looks like this from measure 41. So you're basically going to retake every time you see that, set your bow, don't attack from the air, and then play your down bow at the frog. So without further ado, this is Sunflower by Post Malone for violin 2 at quarter equals 160. So that's Sunflower by Post Malone at 160 for violin 2. And it's important to note that because this piece goes on so fast, it's good to keep everything in the middle of your bow, keep everything short. You don't have to use a lot of your bow for this entire piece. In fact, it'll only slow you down if you use too much bow. So keep everything towards the middle. And at the end, when I was playing, I did skip the soli section from 49 to the end of 56. So just play the 2D part and play at metronome 160, but work your way up. Start from around 100, quarter note equals 100 to 120, 140, and make 160 your end goal of your tempo. But that's about it. Happy practicing.